So a good way to look at the channel system is as being a signal transmission system, which is involved in movement. I didn't say that, but actually Mukainos developed the M-test because he was, and is still, providing elite athletes with acupuncture treatments. So basically he works with sports professionals. So he developed that method from the sport acupuncture field. But the same mechanism applies to pain and symptoms that come from movements in daily life. So we could eventually diagnose any condition using that protocol, not just pain related to sports activities. So the main information about it, the most important thing to understand about that protocol, that method, is the following. The pathological mechanism of channel imbalance causing restrictions and pain in movement in other parts also applies to symptoms that cannot be explained by modern medicine. So if we start talking about holism, and we know that Chinese medicine is an holistic way of treating people, then we know that most of the time MDs, medical doctors, even specialists, they cannot explain why you've got those symptoms, why you've got leaky gut syndromes, why you've got chronic back pain, why you've got an ulcer in the stomach. Right, using this method, we're going to be able to tell people, well, you've got these symptoms because of this, because of that channel imbalance. And it means something in the physical realm. It means something. It is not just chi, okay, moving through meridians. It is palpable. I mean, you can show to people, okay, that the problem is there. Okay, so I'm going to give you some examples before we go through the protocol. And okay, that's the story of a 59-year-old man who had pain in both shoulders for over a year. So it was kind of a chronic shoulder pain. First, pain was not relieved no matter how many places he received treatment, and the cause of the pain was unknown by physiotherapists, for example, or medical doctors. Okay. Lateral rotation of the arm in an horizontal position aggravated the pain, and I'm going to demonstrate what that means in a moment. So lateral rotation of the arm in an horizontal position aggravated the pain, and in this particular case, simple pressure on classic acupoints like pericardium 9, pericardium 7, triplet worm 3 and triplet worm 10 were candidates for treatment. And amongst those four, two of them with simple pressure. I'm not talking about needling the points right now. I'm just talking about touching those points. So pericardium 7 and triplet worm 10 reduced the pain while moving the arm laterally. So it's a good way to diagnose first the channels involved in the shoulder pain, and second, before treatment, to evaluate the effectiveness of the points. So after treating these points, let's say using acupuncture, I also stimulated the 5 phases combination points, spleen 2 and stomach 41. Tomorrow morning, we would go through points combinations quite extensively, because you'll see the logic is amazing, and it's mainly based on the 5 elements of the wuxing, the 5 phases. This immediately relieved the shoulder pain. So we're talking about 4 points, 4 needles, because those needles were not needled bilaterally. Only PC7 and triplet worm 10 on one side, and spleen 2 and stomach 41 on the other side. Any question?
Same side, if they the same side,
Contralaterally.
contralateral.
Yes.
So if the shoulder pain is on the right side, you treat the left side?
Yes. It depends on the, because those 4 points are actually distributed on one arm and on the contralateral leg. But I would go extensively through this tomorrow, okay? So you'll see, I always talk about syncretism, how we bring things together. So in that book, Dr. Mukaino proposes a few treatment methods, right? And I would mention them, but I would also go through different ways to treat the same conditions, using the same logic. So in that particular case, to answer your question, if pain was on the actually in that particular case, pain was on both shoulders, right? So it's a bit special. But let us imagine that person had pain on the left shoulder, right? In this case, the pericardium 7 and the triple warmer 10 should have been on the right, on the same side, on the left shoulder, on the left arm, sorry, okay? But spleen 2 and stomach 41 contralaterally on the other side, on the right, right? So we are in advance in the agenda, but this is what, for example, what Dr. Jung calls guiding and treating points, right? So we are guiding the treatment towards the pericardium and Sanjiao channels. But the root treatment is actually contralateral. It's actually spleen 2 and stomach 41. Okay. In this case, I use the acupuncture to treat those points, but you will see tomorrow we can use different modalities again. We could have used moxibustion, we could have used acupressure, pressing, okay, twina, stretching, and so on.